Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here live at the Terraces. My name is Jigga Jr. I host a podcast. It's called the Pilosopo Podcast, which you can find on YouTube and on Facebook. And my guest tonight is entrepreneur Kaz Onozawa. He's the man behind Common Grounds and Ripstop. Mayang gabi, Kaz. Good evening.
Good evening, Jiggy. Good evening.
We are actually taking a video of this particular interview. Since this is a video podcast, we have two cameras to your left and to your right, so just be aware. Find out where your best angle is. I'm sure every angle is a good angle.
Thank you. Jake, thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm
Thanks
actually.
to Dunkin' Donuts for inviting us to the late night market.
You know what? I was just in the gallery a few days ago, and I was in your store, Common Grounds, right? It's one of those lifestyle stores. In fact, I think this is a very unique lifestyle store, and one of its kind here in Cebu. But before we get to that, and before we get to Ripstop, which is a brand that you founded, give us a little background who Kaz Onozawa is. You know, where you went to school, how you were as a little boy, you know. And what influenced you to become an entrepreneur and to do what you're doing now? Give us a little idea, Kaz.
Well, all my life I went to school in what is now known as Ateneo de Cebu. And then when I was in high school, I didn't really care about anything else except my grades and skateboarding. Just skateboarding. And then for college, I took up, interior design, and then I shifted to architecture. That's where I met my friend Buddy Ong, the one who's running Mr. Garfield and Baking Bad there. So Buddy, he was my classmate in architecture school, and in college we kept making shirts to sell. You know, in USCTC you sell t-shirts to pretty much everybody, and that's when we thought you can create a brand out of doing what you like, what you really love, and just really trying new things. As architects, as artists, it's pretty much already like an instinct to find outlets or creative outlets where we want to test out our ideas, our creations, and see if things work. Because you have your head. I'm sure you have full of ideas in your head, but how does it actually look like? It's when your eyes can see something that you thought about, realize. That's when you have this sense of fulfillment. And when other people like it, it's one thing, but when other people buy it, it's another thing. And you have to find the balance between there. And so I just kept doing what I was doing, and I ended up growing. Until today, I still skate, but not as much as I did in high school. And in about 2013, we got an invitation from Nike to bring in their specialty arm into Cebu. And so I said yes. I don't know where. I didn't know how I was going to get there, who I was going to be partners with, or what I was supposed to do. And so we brought in Nike sportswear, and then later on I thought, I'm more a skateboarder. It's something I need to bring something I understand. So in 2014, I asked Nike, can I bring in Nike SB to Cebu? And they said, yeah, but you have to open your own store. And so that's when we conceptualized to create Common Ground with my friends, still my friends back from high school, sila Martin Setoy. And then we created a store, we opened with Nike SB, and then after Nike SB was in Cebu, then a lot of other brands followed. And 4 years later, today, we now have Nike SB, Nike Sportswear, Adidas Originals, Adidas Skateboarding, Puma. Soon we'll be launching Puma Skateboarding. We have Vans. And next week we will be launching Converse in Cebu, like the Converse specialty arm in Cebu. And other brands too, like Thrasher, Rastaclots, Supreme, they're also with us. So we've been able to make a lot of friends there. And what we do in the store, we do more than we sell. We're actually a community store where people come to our store even not to buy anything. They just want it to be like their second home. Because the communities like this are very niche. They're very tight knit.
So skateboarding, you were so into skateboarding when you were still in school, and you're still dabble into it even now. You're a little bit older now. I don't want to say very old because you're still very young. Kaz, before I get to skateboarding, because I'm sure you want to talk about that some more, I'd like to ask you. I always ask my viewers this question all the time. Every time I have a chance to talk to them, what is Kaz Onozawa's operating system? Why do you do what you do? What gets you up every morning? What pumps you up? What fires your belly, Kaz? And how do you maintain that particular fire in your belly? Because it's one thing to have passion, but it's one thing to pursue your passion to the ends of the earth.
I guess it was just one day I will never forget. This story still is a true story. And it's a kind of story that we see every day. One night I was on my way home. It was so traffic that there was a street kid that knocked on my window and was asking for money. I told him I can only give you food. He said, okay. Sure. So I gave him food. Because it was so traffic, it wasn't moving. So I asked him, and I will never forget. I asked him, do you go to school? So, no. I don't know. I don't have enough money to go to school. I said, so what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, I'm just asking him questions just to ask him. And he said, I want to be a waiter when I grow up. So I was shocked. Most people would normally say doctor or nurse or some profession, lawyer, architect. And I went through architecture school already. So hearing a little boy say, I want to be a waiter, it's like, why do you want to be a waiter? It's like, oh no, sir, because when he looks at waiters and he sees them serve food to people, and people are happy when they bring the food to the table. Like, he wants to be able to make other people happy. So you can imagine his dream is up to there, and most people would frown upon. And that hit me when I realized that most people, you have all of these dreams, no? You want to do this in life. But then apart from that, our society always teaches us to have a backup plan. Why is there always a backup plan? Why can't there just be one plan and I'll do whatever it takes to make it work? Either I make it work or I don't at all. Because once you have a backup plan, you try to do something that you like, knowing in every day you don't really notice it, but you're ready to fail. So if I fail, at least I have this, you know? And to me, that's not a very good mentality, having a backup plan. A lot of people who don't have much don't have backup plans. A lot of the less fortunate brothers and sisters, they have this. I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get good grades because I want to be this. You will seldom hear it from them where, if I don't become successful, it's okay, I'll just be this. It's not that. And what I'm doing is very far from what I went to college for, designing houses and all. But then I realized that architecture taught me a lot of things that is non-academic. It was about planning, committing to something that you started, finishing it, submitting. So
how's that experience with that little boy affected the way you live now? I mean, like, I'm curious. What's the connection? How has that little boy experience of yours taught you and has influenced you to live the way you live now?
That when you realize how lucky you are where you are,
okay,
and you know so many people, you have all the resources to make things happen. Where we're a company that runs one of the best brands, some of the best brands in the world.
Okay.
Yet you meet this somebody who has nothing but will do anything.
Who's dreaming of becoming a waiter, right?
A waiter, selling,
you know what they
fruits,
say,
newspapers here and there.
You know what they say, you can't dream of something you haven't seen before.
Yeah,
so
you can't.
if a person has not seen what it is to be, let's say, an architect or a doctor, he'll never dream of that. That's why he probably just sees waiters, and maybe has a relative or a friend who is a waiter, so maybe that's why he looks up to waiters. But if you expose that child to the world, he or she will find out that there are actually bigger dreams to be had, right?
Yeah, but by the time he's there, yeah, he will see a bigger world. But let me ask you this, Jiggy. Are you okay when you wake up in the morning? Are you okay with someone else living your dream?
Somebody else living my dream.
It's your dream, but somebody else is living it. Are you okay with that?
No. Hey, that's my dream.
That's my dream. So
True.
it's the same way. I wake up in the morning. It's like, if I'm not going to do this, somebody else will. And I cannot stand, and I will not be able to accept that the fact that I let that opportunity go. That somebody else, I'm just going to sit back and say, that was my dream.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be like that. But
Yeah.
you're not,
Yeah.
because you didn't work so hard.
You mentioned about the backup plan, right? A parachute, they call it, right? In case something fails, you have a backup plan, or you have a parachute, so when you hit the ground, you don't die, right? You still have another way of making a living. For some people, failure means poverty. Like some people don't have that option of food to eat on the table if he or she fails. If he invests all his money on one endeavor, on one business idea, and it fails, he is literally going to sleep in the streets. What do you tell that person, man? Like,
Okay, that is different from a backup plan.
okay,
A backup plan is where if I don't become a lawyer, I'll just become a nurse. That's a backup plan. That's like, you can't go all out and not have enough to eat or to survive. A parachute is a necessary thing for you to land if you jump out of a plane. It's not a plan. It's not a backup plan. A parachute is the only way you're ever going to land safely. Okay, that's a requirement. A backup plan would mean like, I want to open a store, or let's say Buddy, he's an architect. He educates himself in Japan, has so many brilliant ideas. But he also likes selling ginger ale. That's probably his passion. That's one thing he'll probably wake up more for than designing someone else's house. The thing with us in architecture school is we're so trained every day to design for other people. We were never really trained to design our own lives. I mean, you think if I don't become an architect, am I gonna have another chance at something else? It's like, what about you? Radio is your passion. That's what you want to do. That's what you love doing. That's what you would literally wake up early morning for. But I guess it will come to a point where everything that you're doing now, and you wake up one day and you go, I'm not happy with what I'm doing. You have to trust your gut. You're not happy, you're not happy.
We hear this statement thrown all the time. Follow your dreams, follow your passion, right? And you will not have to work a single day in your life. That's like a cliche. Does that hold true still in 2018? And can you really, in this world, follow your passion and not be realistic and get a realistic job that your mom and dad expects you to have? And what do you advise those that have dreams which are sort of unrealistic, not practical? What do you tell those kids who are dreaming of those crazy dreams, so to speak?
Okay, let's take it on a grand scale before we go to our own community scale. About 40 years ago, I'm sure Elon Musk's mom told him, "You're never gonna make it to Mars, so don't make rockets. You won't be rich from there."
Thousands of people still don't think he can make it to Mars until today, right?
They still don't think, but there's only one way to find out, right? Most parents, they just want your kids to be comfortable. They don't want them to have a hard time. Get a job, earn enough, be on a safety net and all that. But they don't realize that their boss didn't get the job. He opened up the business, risked it all, and it worked, and now he's the one hiring you. Yet you climb up the ladder, your corporate ladder, but you'll never be the boss. You'll still be stuck in that job, still being told what to do every hour of your life. And that's just, I don't blame it. That's how our school teaches us. You study hard so that you'll get a good job. But they never tell us, study hard, do well, so that you learn how it is to run your own company. They always tell you to get a job. They always tell you to become this, become that. But that's not your dream. That's their dream. That's their wants. And life is gonna pass you once. You know, I've had so many friends who've already died at my age, but they all died doing the things that they love. And if you wake up one day and you tell yourself, "Am I gonna be happy?" We really don't know when our time's gonna come. You really don't. I mean, to take it on an honest perspective, like whatever it is you're doing now, are you gonna allow all your dreams to just be on that shelf and not even try to live it? And you'll just be stuck with your corporate job because for you it's safer. It's safer, that's the thing, you know? And then something happens to you, like you're gonna regret it the rest of your life. Like, why didn't I just do it? If life is only gonna pass you. I mean, realistically, everybody here is capable of eating 3 meals a day. None of the people in this whole bazaar is below the poverty level. The fact that you're here listening to me means you've survived. And I think we should just not settle for less. Like, I really admire everybody here opening up their shop, like Gladiators Basketball. That Gladiators Basketball stall there is doing the right thing. That's where we started. In one store, you won't find anything else that isn't basketball in that store, and that in itself is a concept store. It's basically what we do. We've opened a basketball store already called Fly, and so we know the dynamics of things. Or the guy selling ginger ale, he sells nothing but ginger ale. The guy selling drug-free cookies is not selling anything else.
Did you say drug-free cookies?
There are drug-free cookies there.
Oh, really? So speaking of pursuing your passions, Kaz, you did also pursue your passion when you were a kid. You were into skateboarding, right?
Yeah.
And you've opened a store that sells skateboarding shoes and skateboarding apparel. Am I correct?
True. Like, we started really skateboarding when we were 12, and then when I was fourth year high school, I told myself that in 10 years, that was 2004. So in 10 years, I'm going to own my own skate shop, and I did.
Okay.
So in 2014, we opened up our store.
You know, skateboarding now has already a big before this happened, but then this young woman,
Margie
Marcy won in the Southeast Asian Games the gold, right?
Yes.
And it has totally and completely changed the landscape of skateboarding. Although it was fairly recent, it was just a few months ago, right?
Yes, just a few months ago.
Tell us what that means to the world of skateboarding. What does her win mean to the world of skateboarding here in Cebu and for the rest of the country?
I think the Margie winning the gold in skateboarding opened up everybody's eyes to really tell you that people don't support something that isn't working. We don't have skate parks. We're not allowed to skate anywhere. She grew up just doing whatever she needed to do to get the job done. Now that she's won, all of a sudden they want to support it. I don't remember the last time we've ever won a gold in basketball or football that governments actually have budgets for, that are shows, you know, like. It's changed not just skateboarding in a way, but it's inspired a lot of people to just, you know what? If you just do one thing and you focus all your energy into it, you may not be the champion, but you will get far. You may not be the winner, but you will be farther than where you started. I mean, you reach for the stars. If you fail, you land on the moon, right? You're out of this world.
And one of the things that Kaz has done, aside from your skateboard and your lifestyle store, the Common Grounds, you also have a line of clothes, right? Ripstop.
We do t-shirts.
Tell us a little bit about Ripstop and what is your design sensibility, and when you started, what was the inspiration behind it, and where you can find your line of clothes, Ripstop.
We started it in 2003 with a bunch of friends. In all honesty, we just really needed money for beer.
Money for beer.
Money for
That was
beer.
the inspiration.
That was the inspiration. But
And then, tell us the story. You wanted money for beer, and then you opened a fashion line.
Yeah,
At
and
least you were
we-
being entrepreneurial about it, right? You're trying to solve a problem. You
well,
don't
your
ha-
parents are never gonna give you money for beer.
Yeah,
How are you gonna
exactly.
get there,
Yeah.
right?
So you have to work for it, right?
you have to work for it. So, it was part of a response where we wanted to wear something that was original, and we had a goal that one day when people will wear our brand, they will feel the same pride as they would when they wear something foreign. We realized that when a foreign brand is just a local brand somewhere else. That's what it was. And when we kept pushing for the brand, we grew. Our design philosophy is we design something that will last. Classics, essentials, and all that. And yeah, today we consult with a couple of universities. We've successfully changed, flipped it 180 degrees, everything about CDU. We changed their PE uniforms, we redesigned all their batch uniforms, we made them look nicer. Even how it carries the branding, it helps. And so far, everybody loves the new CDU PE uniform. And at the moment, we're working with 2 more schools. If I may say, we're going to reinvent Springdale. So it was fun working with those schools where they're very open-minded to collaborating with people like us who really just know what we're doing when it comes to those things. We're not experts at everything. At other things, we don't know how. Like we admit all our failures, our mistakes, and things we're not good at. But
You know, Kaz, on another note, since you're talking about fashion here, talking about your line of clothes, Ripstop, right? For a long, long time, the world was looking at the West, right, for their fashion influence. They want to wear clothes that, let's say, for example, people in Hollywood wear and all that stuff. But now, things have changed around, and everybody's looking at Asia now. We have this whole Asian genres like the K-pop, and maybe even Pinoy films are also in vogue now. Tell us about the world of fashion now, in terms of who we look up to as a people here in Cebu. Are we still a very sort of westernized city, or do we have a lot of our focus on ourselves now, us being Asians too? What do you think is going on? Is there like a shift in the way we dress, the way we purchase our clothes, or is it still the same?
I think in the Philippines in general, or in every country, fashion has a lot to do with the culture or the religion. In my experience of traveling elsewhere, the Philippines is very much more European than it is Western or Asian. People here like to wear slim fit pants, polos, anything with a collar, dress, they all like to look proper for church. They like to wear sneakers because they commute. We're not very much Western in a way. We also can't dress up like our Asian neighbors because we don't have winter or snow, so we don't really wear thick jackets, a lot of clothes. We're very laid back. If we compare Cebu to a Western point of view, we're very much like California. People like to wear shorts, t-shirts, and sneakers, or slippers, or anything that is comfortable, whether or not they're commuting, or it's the style.
It has a lot to do with the weather as well, right?
Has a lot to do with it. I mean, unless you work in an office, then
Okay.
you
But I'm
wear
beginning to see people getting dressed these days, right? Especially the holiday season. They're all dressed up to the nines. Sometimes, right? There are certain days of the week that, especially in weekends, we see a lot of people on Sundays, perhaps. Maybe they came from a function or from church, right?
Yeah, I mean, at some point, Cebu will reach a state where, we keep telling ourselves like, oh, we're the design capital of this and that. We're very creative here, but when you try to wear something different people laugh at you. People ask you, "What's he wearing?" You know?
I think it's more of you're scared as well, right? Because people are gonna laugh at you. But now it's 2018, man. You can wear whatever the hell you want, right?
I guess when people realize that when you wear something different or when you want to wear just what you want to wear, other people will waste their time judging you, and I think
Yeah.
I think you can take it like it's an accomplishment because you wasted someone's time who didn't like you anyway.
I have a pair of red shoes, right? Actually, they don't match. The left pair is black and the other side is red.
Why don't you wear it? No.
I did wear it, but I cannot imagine myself wearing that pair 10 years ago. I would have, like 10 years ago or even longer, 15 years ago, 20, I would not have dared to wear that. But I don't know what happened to me, man. I just, did what I wanted to do and just freaking wore it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't really understand. I mean, fashion also has a lot to do with the way our university is run.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like USC has a fashion design course, but they make them wear uniforms. So
exactly. Isn't that weird?
That's stupid, actually.
So Kaz, I know you have things to do, places to go. But before you go, I'll ask you two more questions, and then maybe we can wrap this up. I'm curious. You mentioned originality. Where does originality come from in this day and age when everybody most of the people that we know has traveled? There's the internet where you can just browse through different ways of living, different design sensibilities, different kinds of everything, right? How do you become unoriginal? How can you have an original thought? How can you have an original design? Isn't it in this interconnected world that we have now? Isn't it becoming more difficult for somebody to have something original?
I don't think. Well, probably a long time ago when there was really nothing much, people were coming up with really original ideas. But in this day and age, it's 2018, the internet is everywhere, accessible to almost everyone. Originality is on how you execute something that is normal. The guy selling cookies there, cookies is not original, but the way he's selling it is very original. The guy...
how are they selling their cookies there? With drugs?
Let's say Ali Mango.
Ali Mango, what is that? What's Ali Mango?
It's like a pun from like alimango. There's a crab, diba?
Alimokoy or alimango, yeah.
A crab. To our dialect, we understand it. To me, when I passed by that, it was funny.
Okay.
He's the person selling mango shake.
Okay.
But the way mango shake was being presented is original. Mm-hmm. Or the matcha kawaii.
It's almost reimagining something, right?
Yeah, like fashion. You buy it off the rack. It's not original because they probably made 100 of those. So
but you mix and match it, right?
By buying that, you're not original. Yeah. But how you wore that
is original.
Is what makes it original.
Like the MP3 player, right?
Yeah.
The iPod was not an original idea.
No.
Everybody had an MP3 player a long time ago before Steve Jobs came up with the iPod. But the way he created it was original, right?
The way it's being sold, like...
10,000 songs in your pocket.
Okay, Coca-Cola being sold in the Sari Sari store is not original.
Yeah?
Coca-Cola being sold in a headphones-looking booth
is original.
Is original.
So you don't have
it's in the execution of things.
It does not have to be creating the light bulb, right? It can be figuring out a way how to use a light bulb to your advantage. That could be what is original, right?
It's how you make the thing light. It's how you... Originality is how you make things alive. It's how you make it live. It's
more
yours. The how than the what.
Yeah. It's more the how and the what.
Yeah.
Okay. It's more the how and the what. That's
then the what.
And the what, of course.
No, like it's not really what it is. It's how you tell the story. Yeah?
Okay. Kaz, why don't you invite everybody to visit your store, and if you have some contact points on social media, please tell us all about it so they can check you out. Go ahead, sir.
Well, first I want to thank everyone for taking out all your extra time to set up all your booths. I know it's time. I know how you guys feel like setting up a booth.
Yeah.
And really risking it all and having to pay rent and presenting your concept. Congratulations to everyone in the late night market. Keep doing what you're doing. you'll get to where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'd like to invite everyone to go to our store. It's located in the gallery. It's near Burger Joint,
Mm-hmm.
near IPI, in Mabolo.
F Cafe.
Yeah, the F Cafe. That's where you hang out, no? So yeah, you can follow us at Common Ground, facebook.com/Common Ground. You can shop online 24/7.
Really?
Common Ground.
So in the middle of the night, if they want to buy a pair of
Sure,
shoes
yeah.
from your store, you can?
Yeah, we do COD. And hopefully you can visit us next weekend. We'll be launching the top tier of Converse. So you'll see purple, suicidal tendencies, golf fleures, like pretty much a top of the line Converse.
Converse.
You'll find
Wow,
that in our
okay.
store. Yeah.
And how about Ripstop? Where can you find Ripstop?
You can only find it in our store.
Okay.
And soon you'll be able to find it in Manila in a store called The Nines.
The Nines in
Dress
Manila.
to the Nines.
Did you say in Manila?
Yeah, in Manila.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. So
In,
this is a
Uptown,
local brand
BGC.
that will be in Manila very soon.
Yeah, because
when
we
will
are
this
a brand.
be?
Hopefully before Sinulog.
Before Sinulog. Okay. And speaking of Sinulog, do you have anything cooking for Sinulog?
Yeah, we do. Although there's not really much into
Okay.
like, what we did before. But
Okay.
that would be more. Every year we always come up with something new. Either the last time where everyone was making shirts, we made the Sinulog hat.
Okay.
A white cap that you can dirty on. So yeah, come this Sinulog, we'll be presenting something that is truly Cebu.
Wow. Kaz, you're a true original.
No,
Thank
no,
you
no.
so much, bro. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.